ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. All those seen and unseen, greetings. Thank you for joining us again on this continuous journey that we're all going through. So many individuals have come back to us and have been sending me really very heartfelt, supportive messages. The impact of some of these meditations have been having on people's health, well-being, sense of just stability, I guess. And so, thank you very much, heartfelt, heartfelt, heartfelt. Thank you. Why are we doing this? Well, we anticipated back, I don't know, 2019, 2020, just as the pandemic paranoia began, that we would put something in place that can support people through the coming crisis that we foresaw. And the crises have not finished. They are simply shifting from one kind of crisis to another, to another, to another. There is a bigger picture behind this, which we have been trying to share in snippets. So just as we understand, because otherwise it's a bit too much to get your head round, to get your belief systems, your worldview to accept that your governments, your trusted pharmaceutical companies and the likes really were not interested in your health and well-being, have been exploiting you, and will continue to do that unless you stand up, wake up, see it for what it is. So having recognized the dynamics that were unfolding, we began to put these little talks together. And at the start of the pandemic, we were doing it 3 times a week. And all those individuals who continued with the meditation, used the meditation, learned the meditation, applied it in their everyday homes, despite the pressure on them from their work colleagues, from their families, from their friends, from the propaganda, that all of this was enforcing them to take actions which they felt, heartfelt, wasn't for them. And so those individuals obviously now see the benefit of having taken all of that pressure, all of that abuse, all of that assault, all of that ostracization, all of that insulting, that it was worth standing up for your own sovereignty. And we began with this, stand in your truth, stand in your sovereignty, stand in your truth, stand in your sovereignty. Sovereignty. Sorry. So we are now in this situation where we've gone through the first phase, which has obviously had a huge impact on the world, huge impact on the economy, huge impact on a whole range of things. Then on top of that, we have then been, if you will have noticed, the moment the lockdown began to ease, the war began in the other part of the world, and that then became the major focal point. From that focal point, it went to the crisis to do with energy. From the energy focal point, it's gone now to cost of living, and soon it will then migrate now to climate change, or perhaps a variant, definitely variants, and simply just holding the general consensus, the general consciousness, the general narrative, Zeitgeist, the general consensual reality, holding it in a particular paradigm, in a particular way of looking at it, where you have to comply with the narrative. So if the narrative says black is blue, then you have to agree with it. If the narrative says someone who is born biologically as a man and wishes to identify himself as a tomato plant, then this narrative says we have to comply with that in order not to offend these fragile egos. So this narrative is a narrative in which it's easier to comply But the more you comply, the more you have your wings clipped, the more you become basically a functioning cog within the bigger wheel that is, or bigger parasite that's just sucking the juice out of you, effectively sucking your life. So if you were to look at where have I invested my life, where have I invested my life so far? And does this equate to my measure of success? So if today was my last day, as the Zen masters say, go to sleep like it's your last night to sleep and wake up like it is your last day to live. And in that way, we embrace the day with wholeness. We embrace the day with wholeness and with fullness. So as we are migrating through this transition, and you have no choice, you have no choice. So there are some words which will be really useful to comprehend. And the first word would be simplicity. Life of simplicity. Life which is devoid of all the exploitation that goes around simply to satisfy a lifestyle. So, a lifestyle in which sentient beings become important. So you don't keep sentient life and germinate, grow it from when it's an infant into adulthood, simply so you can kill it and taste it for a few moments, right? Just for the taste to take life will start to become ethically unacceptable. Unacceptable. Not because it's to do with a movement, but it's to do with the evolving consciousness that has been going on around us, as you have seen. Now, obviously, there is a natural process, and then there is a process in which those who have their own agenda and know the game will then create mischief, will create distraction in order to ensure that this awakening, this global consciousness refinement, evolution, doesn't necessarily happen in an organic way, and therefore there is lots and lots of disruption, simply to maintain control. Simply to maintain control. The situation we are now moving into is the situation which you could describe as unprecedented, meaning that the reason we have the cost of living in the Western world, in particular, in the so-called developed world, um, is simply because the buying power of the dollar, the pound, euro, it's worth next to nothing. So as this value dies, uh, things go up. Things go up. So it would be wise for people to begin to look at how they can manage to grow food, how they can look after, because the cost of living is going to become a problem, as it is with many people, as it is with many people. So in this transition that we're going through, there are certain things that we can anticipate. And those things are, for example, the psychological impact of, say, for example, the lockdown. The psychological impact of the lockdown on those individuals who weren't able to manage and navigate it through is like post traumatic stress disorder. And we are now starting to see the disruption in sleep patterns far more frequently, agitation, anxiety, depression, and the whole mental space, with including children, in fact, very much including children, all the way across, all the way across. So that's that bit. Now we are going to the second space of the psychological change, and I'll call this Vaxxology or Vax psychology. Those individuals who are starting to now see more and more around them information, data, individual athletes collapsing, suddenly dying, young celebrities, young people, heart disease just come out of nowhere, and this constant trying to distract the population. Oh, it must be eggs that's causing it. Oh, no, no, it's a climate that's causing it. Oh, no, it's the air pollution that's causing it. Oh, no, no, it's peas that are causing it. This stupidity, this distraction is to keep you away from recognizing that there is now significant information and evidence to suggest there are risks associated with those who are injected. And as sobering as that is, we have to anticipate the process within an individual who may have taken that decision with good faith, and most people did. Although a lot of people was coerced, many employers forced their employees, and they're all accountable today. Um, you will find that those individuals are currently exercising predominantly a state of ignorance or denial, not wanting to know, because you can imagine it's like the impact, the psychological impact. So we're going to move from this denial space to a space as disbelief and shock. And that is now starting to emerge. And how do you know it's emerging? Well, as we anticipated 2 years ago, that there will come a time that politicians and the so-called officialdom will have difficulty walking the streets because people will call them to account. And we are seeing that that's starting to emerge now. From shock and disbelief, there is inevitable anger that was going to rise. So these are the stages that we can now anticipate in individuals, in groups, in people, in social settings, particularly where this information starts to dawn on individuals and you go beyond the denial stage and you go into actually realizing that my health has been put at risk because of someone telling me to do something that I trusted them, and they are now accountable. And when this begins to dawn, this anger will then rise. And so we will see anger, we will see rage, we will see anxiety, we will see depressions at levels that we haven't anticipated before. Hence, meditation is now no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. And the reason it's a necessity is to allow ourselves to ground ourselves, not to get involved in that psychodrama fueled by fear, fueled by unnecessary rumination, fueled by anticipation of the worst, but looking at it as one is here. So how do we, as individuals who may have experienced something like that, may have taken our situation where we have done something that is now compromising our health, what can we do? So one of the first things is to calm the mind. Yeah. So meditation becomes absolutely necessity. And then obviously taking certain actions in order to ensure that the body is provided with the resources and with the chi energy, not the gym energy, the chi energy, life force. It's provided with life force in order to repair if there's any damage and to create a lifestyle that does not place unnecessary pressure and stress on individuals who themselves are now becoming anxious because of something they've done. It's a very practical way of moving forward, because from those who haven't, well, for you, there is contentment to cultivate, self-compassion to cultivate, and out of that self-compassion will arise compassion for those who now will begin to recognize that, help is in fact needed to help navigate the psycho-emotional erraticness that one will experience and have begun to experience now. So from denial to shock to disbelief, that kind of conversation within oneself, then to anger, realization, rage, then ultimately to depression. Now, in that depression, there is stuff that can be done. in order to allow individuals to come out of that depressive state or the state of depression and get into the state of acceptance. So there are things that can be done through interventions from mindfulness, etc., in order to allow individuals to cultivate better health. Because now the time is for solutions and not for pointing fingers. We all know what the score is, and those who don't will find out soon enough. So the time is now simply to look at things and saying, what can be done in order to allow individuals and ourselves to navigate ourselves through these times of instability, uncertainty, disorientation, erraticness, and confusion. These are the themes in the mental space that we are now starting to experience. The feeling space. Confusion, erraticness. Just look at the driving at the moment. Disorientation, disability, not feeling stable. Uh, and of course, through all of this instability that we go through, or the instability that is going on around us, that we can experience, may want to ignore it, but it's going on around us, creates a level of disorientation in an individual. You feel kind of out of place. So, meditation is one thing. Qigong, grounding yourself, is absolutely a lifesaver at the moment. You know, allowing yourself to be grounded, allowing some of the excess chi, some of the trauma energy, stress energy to be drawn down through the ground, but at the same time cultivating what I would call a chi energy, pranic energy, in order to just allow the body to repair itself, to move forward. So, in these changing times, that 2023 is going to become quite, in 2023, these things are going to become quite visible. It would be prudent that if we prepare ourselves, and if nothing happens, all is good. But if it is there, then we are prepared in order to deal with it. And so far, we have been pretty much anticipated what's going on and provided people with the right kind of support in order to navigate whatever was going on. The other thing I would like to just point out is that as we move into the February, into the spring kind of space, you will find that it's probably in your interest not to make quick decisions, but to give some time so the decision becomes a heartfelt decision. It's led by the heart and not led by the mind. And try, you can try it. You'll find that those decisions that you make with the mind, meaning you analyze something, you write the pros and cons, and SWOT analysis, and you reflect on it for long time, and then you make a decision, mind-based decision. Heart-based decision is just a knowing. Just a knowing. This feels right. This feels. So we are moving now from away from the dialogue, more to the heart, to the hirda. Not just the physical heart, but to the psycho-spiritual heart, the hirda, this space where we begin to recognize our sacred self. We need to we begin to recognize really where our essence resides. So through that, we find that not are we able to just navigate what's going on around us, which actually becomes quite trivial, but more importantly, we begin to discover something quite priceless, something quite invaluable about us, within us, simply by taking this moment to inquire within, to look within. And what do we mean by look within? Simply to be present. And through present moment, we can then move into presence. Presence is a place of non-duality. Presence is a place of being and knowing that you're there. But there is no one I amness separated in that space. Ultimate non-duality. So we don't all get there every day. It's not something that we can, but we simply become present, and through the organic process of being present in the moment of now, the presence takes place by itself. It emerges. It emerges. So enough for the chit chat. let's move on into our meditation. And several people have asked me, sometimes we're meditating and we think, the time is not enough. So, right at the end, when I ring the bell, those who wish to come out of the meditation, come out. Those who wish to stay in it, please continue. So, as usual, we begin with the body. We close our eyes. We move our focus to the eyes and notice that they are indeed closed. And you can notice the back of your eyelids. We bring our focus now to the mouth. We notice the mouth is closed. And if not, if you can't breathe in through your nose, then of course you can breathe in through your mouth. But ideally, you want to breathe in through your nose and your mouth is closed. If you ever need to breathe in do meditation where your breath is blocked, always move to the stomach. It's easier to do that. Just the stomach rising and falling. So we begin, mouth is closed, eyes are closed. Now bring your focus to the chair or the seat you're on and allow yourself to be supported. And what that means is you can afford to completely let go. You're not going to go anywhere. The ground holds you. Allow yourself to be held. Allow yourself to be held. Allow yourself to be held. Allow the body to soften a bit. And now bring your focus to your back. Allow it to extend so it's up, it's straight, it's erect, but not rigid. And if you pull your chin in slightly, you will stretch the back of the neck. And all this does is simply align the head, the neck, and the spine. Next breath in, becoming aware of your body as best as you can. And notice if you're comfortable. If you're not comfortable, change your posture. Because you are committing yourself simply to sit for a while, so you want a nice, comfortable posture. Your intention is to become present. So, next breath in, bring your focus to your whole body as best as you can. And scanning your body from the top of your head, imagine there's a hula hoop that begins to move down. Begin to notice any sensations that are present. All the way down. And if you find a sensation that's dominant, like a pain or an ache or a tightness or an itch, all you do is simply locate it. There's no judgment, there's no commentary, just simply location. Moving all the way down. Okay, next breath in. Bring your focus now to the seat you're on. And our intention at this moment is to simply scan the body step by step. So first we bring our focus to the sensations that are in the body where the body makes contact with your seat. So wherever you're sitting, you will find the pressure of your body makes contact with your chair, your seat, the ground, and there are sensations within the body. So use that as your focal point. From those sensations, as you breathe in, begin to notice bringing your focus upwards towards your hips and begin to notice any sensations. Okay. Front of the hips, pelvis, side of your hip, the back of your hips, And all you're doing is just noting anything that's dominant. No commentary. Next breath out, you bring this focus down your thighs, allowing your awareness to scan the thighs towards your knees. From your knees, you move down from the calves of your legs, the shins, all the way down to your ankles. And now bring your focus to your feet. So we do this gently, we do this softly, sensing your feet, and then gently moving this focus to the soles of your feet. Next breath in, bringing your focus now to the seat again. Notice that your back is straight and upright. Next breath in, you bring your focus up your back, scanning the lower back, gently moving up towards the middle back. From the middle back, on your next breath in, you bring this focus upwards towards your shoulder blades. Notice your shoulders. Notice they're not hunched. And notice that your shoulders are in fact relaxed. Allow them to soften. Allow them to relax. And then as you breathe out, you bring your focus down your shoulders towards your elbows. From your elbows, you bring down towards your wrists. Simply scanning. Nothing major. Don't need to relax anything. Just the act of scanning is enough to relax the body. From your wrists, move your focus to the palms. And now gently moving your focus towards your fingers. And hold it there. Notice the sensations where your fingers may touch something. Bringing your focus towards the tips of your fingers. Perhaps towards your nails. And then on your next breath in, you bring your focus now towards your eyes. Notice they are closed. Notice the darkness, the awareness, which is what you are. Unchanging, always present, simply awareness. Notice you can shift your awareness to the back of your head. And then as you breathe out, you allow your eyes to soften. Next breath in, bringing your focus to your mouth. Notice the sensations within your mouth. On the roof of your mouth. inside cheeks, on your tongue. Allow your tongue to soften. Allow your jaw to soften. And as you breathe out, you allow your face to soften. Next breath in, once again becoming aware of yourself as best as you can. Sensing yourself from the head all the way down to your feet. Again, notice anything dominant. Next breath in, you bring your focus to your inner space, your inner climate, your thoughts, your mental space, your emotional and feelings. So notice your thoughts first. What's on your mind, if anything, right this moment? Are there any thoughts that are dominant? Give your mind the permission to think. What would it want to think of right now? Do you feel alert or do you feel drowsy? Do you feel clear or do you feel foggy? Next breath in, bring your focus to your chest, holding it on the surface of your chest. Allow the chest to breathe by itself, allowing it to rise as the breath comes in, allowing it to relax as the breath goes out. And now taking your focus a bit deeper into yourself. How do you feel right now? Does this moment feel settled, comfortable, pleasant, sukh? Or does this feel unpleasant, uncomfortable, unsettled, dukh? Right this moment. On your next breath out, begin to listen to all the sounds around you. Allow any sound to come to you, simply opening your awareness to all the sounds around you. Any noise, not looking for them, not seeking them out, but simply allowing themselves to come to you. And we're going to use the sound of our bell to move a bit deeper into the silence. listening. When you're ready, bring your focus just beneath your nose and begin to watch your breath. Your commitment is to hold your focus beneath your nose as best as you can. Noticing the in-breath moving in, noticing the out-breath moving out. Stay with your breath. Breathing in, you know you're breathing in. Breathing out, you know you're breathing out. If you find your focus has drifted from your breath, notice the distraction, gently bringing your focus back to your breath, allowing the in-breath to come in, allowing the out-breath to move out. The breath is your anchor. Simply bringing our focus to our breath allows the mind to begin to notice, begin to calm down, begin to find a state of stability. Simply by bringing our focus to our breath, not changing it, not controlling it, but just watching it. The breath is you. Allow the breath to be accepted, gracefully flowing in you, gracefully flowing out of you. Just to be with the breath. Just to be with the breath. And now to move into a bit of a deeper space, we begin to follow the breath out, all the way out. Notice exactly when it finishes. Moving right to the end of your out breath. Naturally, notice when it finishes, before the in-breath begins. Stay with your breath. Following your out breath all the way till the end. Allowing every out breath to draw you deeper, pulling you deeper into yourself, deeper into this moment. Alert yet relaxed. Alert yet relaxed. Following your out breath all the way till the end. All the way till the end. Notice how you're breathing now. Does the breath feel fast or does it feel slow? Does the breath feel long or does it feel short? Bringing your focus now to the sound of your breath. Listening to the in breath or trying to listen to the in breath, trying to listen to the out breath as intentively as you can. And the more deeper, more intentively we listen to the breath, a new depth in our awareness begins, allowing us to get a bit deeper, bit more present, listening to the in breath, listening to the out breath. And now, as best as you can, simply open your awareness once again to all the sounds around you, allowing every sound, every noise to come to you. Following the sound of the bell deep into the silence as best as you can. Simply follow. Gently bringing your focus just beneath your nose and just sitting with your breath in silence. And begin to acknowledge your experience. If the mind is erratic, it is erratic. If you feel at peace, then focus on the peacefulness. If you feel calm, notice the calmness. Bring your focus to your experience, acknowledging it, recognizing that you have created this space for yourself. And this peace, this calmness, this sense of safety, security, and silence is all you, your essential self. What do you find at the end of this bell? You find you, your sacred self, that divine spark that you are. Next breath out, becoming aware of your body as best as you can. Notice you're still in the same place you began. Your chair, your seat holds you. You can bring your awareness to your hips, moving it down towards your thighs, simply scanning from your knees down towards your ankles, becoming aware of the body itself, allowing yourself to bring some of that peacefulness within the body. From your ankles, move to your feet, soles of your feet. Back is straight and upright. Your shoulders, arms, hands are comfortable and relaxed. Your eyes are closed, your mouth is closed, and your face is relaxed. Coming back to your breath. And now the breath comes in, you can sense your body. The breath goes out, you can sense your body. Breathing in, you sense your body. Breathing out, you sense your body. When you hear the next bell, you can use this bell to draw slow, deep breaths in. Gently open your eyes, or simply follow the bell into the silence and stay as long as you wish.